Hey everybody, my name is President, and welcome back to Aramore. This is the brand new series here on the channel, and I really can't wait to get started here. So, if you're wondering, Aramore is going to be a Pacific Northwest styled port city. This is the idea I've got at least for it, and I mean, we'll figure stuff out as we go. That's the general theme of the map, and really just everything I'm going for, the inspiration for many things. Mostly as we move forward. I mean, this first episode we're going to be working on the harbor area, and as you might have seen from the cinematics at the beginning, this map is going to be based off of two main peninsulas. One of them is going to be the downtown peninsula, and the one closer to the open ocean, or really well on the open ocean, is going to be the harbor area, and they're pretty much symmetrical, not completely, but I don't know. I mean, this idea for the city is going to be, and it's more of an open ocean style Pacific Northwest city, and you know, like Seattle is more inlands, but I wanted to go for something open ocean, with a huge harbor as just a main port hub for the area, I guess. Completely imaginary, but I don't know. You know what I mean. So, anyway, once again, first episode we're going to be making a harbor here. Next episode we should be working on the oil harbor, and after that we're gonna figure it out as we go. But yeah, for now, just this main harbor we are working on, and you know, as you can see, I'm just placing some of the guidelines for how I want to shape everything. So, just using these seawalls as I did in the harbor in Falcon Falls. And yeah, I don't know. I'll talk a little bit more about what's going on in the time lapse in a minute, but there's a lot to go over. So first off, I don't know. Welcome back. I mean, it's been a little while, and to any new viewers, I'm Prez, and I've been making City Skylines videos for like 9 months now. It's been a long time, something like that at least. But yeah, this is the brand new project. I really can't wait. Here, and so the whole idea of this, I mean, I've lowered the amount of items in my mods list by a lot. It was like 70 before, and now we're down to about 40, a little bit over 40, I think, which I think is a lot more manageable. And I decided that I wanted to keep it sort of low with the amount of mods that I was going to use that could possibly really mess my game up with an update, just until the mass transit update comes out, and then I'll grab a couple more mods for other features. But there weren't really many things that, like, I mean, I want to grab the improved public transport, so I could select which vehicles come out of public service buildings. But that's not really crucial, especially for what I'm working on at the moment. So I'm definitely going to be grabbing that after the update. I know they're adding a lot of features. I don't know, it's just an example. Point is, now keeping it sort of lower with the mods and the assets. By the way, this wasn't even going to be a Pacific Northwest styled city in the first place. Wasn't going to be anything like this. I was actually going to be going for something tropical, and that was the plan for months, actually. But it actually sort of changed last minute. So I had the first episode of a tropical city done. I mean, here, I'll put on screen like a screenshot that I had from that. It was going to be really nice if everything went as planned, but it really just didn't go as planned. So the whole idea of it was that I wanted to go for something ultra detailed. And I thought that I mean, I knew my frame rate wouldn't be the best, but I thought it would be a lot lower than it ended up being. Like, I mean, or a lot higher rather. And in like one small downtown block, I was getting like 10 frames already, and that was a problem because if I continued the the only way I was doing this was going to be, having it ultra detailed. The whole idea of it was to downscale, I guess, really focus on detail and get rid of a bunch of assets, but I wasn't able to downsize as much as I wanted to, which is my problem with that. And then I ran into issues with the prop limiter mod, and that was the whole point of the whole, the thing with, being able to use a ton of props and do asphalt parking lots everywhere, and, everything ultra detailed. But that mod broke, and, I mean, for me at least, I really recommend you don't use it, by the way. It's really unstable. Or at least if you're still using it, just don't place any more props with the shift place feature, just in case it messes up, because it didn't even update, and just all of a sudden I opened my game, all of the props are gone that I placed with it, and Just my trees were sort of glitching, so yeah, that mod's not very stable. just a heads up. So yeah, I figured at that point I had to scrap that, even if I got it working, because all the props are stored in a completely different matrix. So even if I fixed it, it could happen again randomly, and I had to start again. And I realized I wasn't even sure if I wanted to go with tropical. So I decided in the end that I wanted to just change the whole idea, and we're ending up here with Pacific Northwest, which I think I'm going to be a lot happier making. It's a lot more in my comfort zone than a tropical city. So just briefly, in terms of the visual mods I'm using this series, I'm going to be using the Realistic 1.2 LUT with Daylight Classic, and those should be in the mods collection in the description. And for now, there is no Daylight Classic, as you can see, so there might be a yellowish hue at the moment, but later on in the episode, I do end up deciding to switch. The first episode, I'm just mapping out what I want the series to look like. Can't know immediately, but yeah. So I'm going to probably end up going with that, and the theme I'm using is New Caledonia with the Concrete Edition, so you can check that out. I'm using a slightly edited version locally, but it's barely edited. Just change the natural resource textures, which you can do with the theme mixer mod. But yeah, the New Caledonia theme's in the description. And other than that, I mean, the road mod I'm using my road texture mod is Roads United US Edition combined with Roads United US Edition reworked, just locally. Pretty much Roads United US Edition reworked with the US Edition, the normal US Edition highways and elevated roads, just because I like how those look when you have light roads. So I guess the thing that, if you really like those highway textures, just use the original US Edition. But yeah, that's local, so I can't really release that, whatever. So, yeah. Anyway, moving forward, this area I'm working on here, I'm just trying to make this back warehouse area a little bit dirty, and I'm using a lot of the Pidelmo trees and stuff. I mean, I feel like at this point I've actually gotten rid of the Shady Bush Bloom asset from my asset list, which was like one of my central assets before, but I've realized that it's so high in triangles. It's like 2200 triangles, this Shady Bush asset, and I'm still using the normal Shady Bush asset a little bit. I'm gonna stay subscribed to that just because, I don't know, but I might even get rid of it at some point because these new Pidelmo replacements are great. I'm just trying to go for something a little bit lower tri. I mean, these Mr. Mason grasses, the smaller fine ones, are 500 triangles apiece, which is really nuts. So yeah, I've got a huge problem with that, so I'm trying to use a limited amount of those and really be cautious with the tries and my prop limit and stuff. I think I'll be fine if I'm just cautious throughout. And yeah, in terms of the scale of this project, by the way, I'm planning on something a little bit smaller than Falcon Falls, and it's gonna have a lot more water, so I won't need to fill too much of the map out in terms of leaving open space, because in Falcon Falls, there was pretty much no water, which was sort of unfortunate because I had to fill a lot of the map out. But I didn't really go for a crazy high density just because, I don't know, I didn't think it'd be best. But for this, I'm going to go for a huge grid near downtown, and I think I'm going to do it a lot better this time. Falcon Falls was more of an experiment than anything. Not an experiment, but I hadn't really built anything that I had finished. I think I've mentioned this a couple times before, but Falcon Falls was my first finished project. If you haven't seen it yet, you can check out the cinematic showcase video from last weekend's, or, well, might be last weekend for you. I don't know when this is going up, but yeah, so I don't know. Point is that the scale of this project should be pretty much medium-sized. I might even go over the amount of buildings that I used in Falcon Falls, just because I feel like in Falcon Falls, I didn't realize how small the actual downtown area was. I didn't have it sprawl out as far as I should have. I really should have gone further if I wanted a huge metropolis, but I realized how much smaller it ended up being. But I'm really happy actually with how that ended up turning out. But I've got a better idea of what kind of scale I want to go for here. But I guess just going back to the time lapse, I am filling out this area behind all of these warehouses. I'm using for the assets I'm using here. I'm generally just using the Brooklyn themes industrial warehouses and the Avanya warehouses for this industrial area. And I should have used a lot more of these last time around. I mean, I've learned so much, and I feel like my style is like completely developed into something different at this point than it was even halfway through the last series. And I know what I'm doing now, so I really think, or at least I'd like to think so, in terms of my style. So I've got so many ideas for this, just honestly. So I just can't wait to get started here with this whole series, and I really hope you can't either. I mean, this is just going to be a lot of fun. I'm really happy with the name Aramore. I think it fits a city like this pretty well. And also, you see me placing right now these change of topic once again. I should probably just talk about the time lapse here, but just these broken fences by Ronix that came out pretty recently. Oh my gosh, they are amazing. I used them a ton here. They came out just like right after I began this project here. So I've been using a lot of those. They add so much if you use them right. Also, another thing I'd like to say quickly is we just hit 500 followers on Twitter. So yeah, thank you all so very much. I mean, made this new Twitter in November, and we're at 500 followers at this point. So yeah, thank you all so much for that. And I mean, definitely follow me. I've been teasing this, for a little while now. The new series, and it's finally out. But I definitely recommend you follow me on Twitter for teasers, and I don't know. I don't spam your timeline. Definitely. So yeah. Anyway, I've been using Move It to get little piles of stuff and just other items on top of these trailers. Because I didn't realize you could do that before, like elevate props on the y-axis, but apparently if you have the prop snapping mod, you can. So I've been doing that, and oh yeah, here's where we switched to Daylight Classic. This looks far better. I mean, it's just a lot less obnoxious, and I just think this look will be better for the series. So I mean, you'll see it develop, but yeah, just doing this little area by the end of the highway here. I mean, I'm not going to be doing any live gameplay here in this episode, but next episode I should be doing some of that to show you around just the general layout of the map and what I have planned. But this episode I decided against that. I just want to get the harbor started, and next episode we're going to finish it by making the oil harbor. And that should round everything off pretty well, and then after that we're gonna just figure it out. But I'm probably gonna work on some utilities before we move towards downtown. I think that'd probably be best, but who knows? We're gonna figure that out. But for now, it's definitely just gonna be this, and then the oil harbor, and we'll see where we're at after that. But I'm really happy with just everything here, just how I combined all the trees and grasses and stuff, and it's just amazing how much space you're able to fill with so many low try assets, now that P-Delmo's revolutionized stuff. So it's been nice. My frame rate's already pretty bad, but it's not as bad as it would have been if I spammed shady bushes everywhere and stuff. So yeah, I think we're moving towards the container yard area now. Or I'm pretty sure you'd call this a container yard. I'm 99% sure, something like that. I mean, you guys tell me in the comments. I know nothing. But yeah, also, just shout out to, talking about me knowing nothing, shout out to Pasquigel for helping me with various things such as which specific trains to use in this series. I think I'm going to mostly be using some of the commuter trains that he made, and the Evergreen train, and just other freight trains that he made. So yeah, thanks Jay for some help on that. And which exact trains to use for Pacific Northwest style city. I assumed it would be some of the commuter trains and, the Evergreen train. So, yeah. It'll be fun to work with passenger rail. I'm probably not going to be using Metro Overhaul mod in this series. I don't know, because the downtown area is not going to be too much of a metropolis. It's going to go down to lower density pretty quickly. But yeah, I'll really show you that once we get there. I don't really want to talk too much about the future yet, because we have a lot going on, you know, here and now. So you see this little area I'm making is like I guess a construction rental type thing where you can rent construction vehicles or something. I don't know, just have a bunch of those parked right there. And yeah, hadn't really done too many of those before, but they fill up space pretty well. And doing one of these little construction areas, I'm using prop snapping and move it once again to put one of these pipes like up on the crane like it's lifting it, which I think is just amazing. So definitely try that if you haven't. Also, so this is what I'm talking about, the container yard. Just tons and tons of containers in many different ways are being placed here. Like I'm placing a bunch of these container trucks here. I saw Taser do this, and I figured this is something you definitely would see, and I figured I'd try that myself for this harbor. And you see in a moment we're going to be adding just some normal containers just on the grounds. I wanted to make this area a little bit dirtier, just add some texture so it wasn't just complete concrete everywhere. So yeah, I think in just a moment, yeah, we're just adding some containers here, just all lined up, not perfectly or anything, of course. It's the whole point, really, just to make it a little bit messier. And gonna put some piles of scrapped appliances and stuff over here. And yeah, so anyway, I think I'm going to leave you all with some music for a couple of minutes, because I've been talking for 17 minutes straight here. So yeah, enjoy the music for just a couple of minutes, and yeah, I'll be back right here very shortly. And we're back, so hopefully you enjoyed that little break from my voice, but yeah, we're back here and just detailing this back area by the end of the highway, and just doing various things, placing some foliage, and we're all the way over by the rail yard we initially made. Now, we sort of moved pretty far from that last little clip, but now we're working on a little container area just over here because there was a lot of open space I needed to do something with, so I decided to do that because it'd be really just weird transitioning immediately into just trees and stuff. So I figured I'd add a smaller container area with some cranes and get some nice use out of the crane rails. But we are just about to run out of time here, so I guess I can say some final remarks. So yeah, if you did enjoy the video, remember to leave a like. It really does help out a lot. Subscribe if you're new around here. I'm assuming we've got a bunch of new viewers here from, you know, just the fact that this is a brand new series, and I'm just really happy for this fresh start. This new series is just going to be amazing, so definitely subscribe if you're new around here. Hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button even if you're not new around here so you get notified whenever I upload. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description. Post a lot of teasers and previews, etc. I mean, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you do enjoy these final cinematics. It's finally time to say goodbye, and hopefully you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time.